Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. How you all doing? Today we're going to be talking about Chelsea's Ruben Loftus-Cheek, how important he is for Chelsea and how well he performed last season. But before we get into the video guys, please do subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notifications button so you can keep it locked and not miss any content that I'm churning out. Ruben Loftus-Cheek last season, he didn't get into the team straight away, and that's because coach Maurizio Sarri did critique his lack of intelligence when it comes to the defensive phase. Now, a lot of Chelsea fans sort of mocked this and they wanted him in straight away because he had a good spell at Palace, playing out on the wing a little bit and in the middle sometimes. But the truth is, Ruben did need to develop in this defensive game, and he did develop and got into the team essentially. Ruben came out in an interview recently, I say recently, towards the latter part of last season, and he said that, yeah, he had developed his defensive game. He took what the coach said on board, got better at it, got into the team, and towards the end of the season, Sarri was praising Loftus-Cheek for his development. So he did demonstrate his offensive talent, but he did grow as a player. So ultimately, I guess it was a good marriage in the end, Loftus-Cheek and Maurizio Sarri, considering the type of player Ruben turned into playing underneath him. On that, another important thing to talk about is Ruben played in his optimum position under Maurizio Sarri. If you think about the last few years where he's been sort of pushed about, he's kind of been played out of position. Certainly Jose was moving around from a 10 to a really deep 6 sometimes, which, you know, neither really suit him. Crystal Palace, they played him out on the wing, which is just super weird. Antonio Conte was talking about, you know, making him a striker, which is just mental. He just looked at him and like, oh, a big strong lad that can score. I'll make it, you know, and hold up the ball. Perhaps I'll turn him into a striker. None of this was right. In Sarri's system for Chelsea, he played on the left-hand side in kind of an 8 role, and he basically found his spot. That's where he dominated games most. That's where he interchanges the best, and that's just the best part of the pitch to be occupying for Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Playing in these other positions on the pitch that Ruben didn't suit, they come with different tactical demands as well that doesn't suit the player. Playing in this left-sided sort of central midfield role is more of a native position for Ruben. He feels more comfortable, he gets to express himself more, and after last season with a little bit more defensive assurance and development, he's become a complete player. Indeed, he's starting to look like the player he was at youth level when he just dominated the pitch essentially in opposition. He's starting to look like that again, but at the highest level in senior football, which is what everyone hoped for Ruben Loftus-Cheek, so great news, right? If you look at him play now, he's, you know, if he's not holding up 3 opposition players at once, doing like skillful flicks or layoffs, executing silky 1-2s with a teammate, storming through midfield with opposition players just bouncing off him, or just scoring wonderful goals, he's then pressing, occupying the right space, making the correct movements and runs, his tactical awareness and sort of just football knowledge and football IQ has developed last season. So yeah, like I said, I'm rambling on, but the complete midfielder now. To start with last season, Ruben's chances came in the Europa League, but then he broke into the Premier League team. So let's do a little sort of statistical comparison now. Yeah, let's do it. Let's look at the numbers. Goals and assists. In the Europa League last season, Ruben Loftus-Cheek scored 4 goals and assisted 3 times. In just 8 starts, by the way. Not bad. Once given his chance in the first team, Ruben did not mess about. If he wasn't assisting or scoring goals, he was asking questions of the opposition, picking up the ball and running at them, and, you know, making the opposition's game plan go out the window. You know, he was asking those questions, those difficult questions that can change the game. So let's take a look at minutes per goal involvement. So in the Europa League, Ruben Loftus-Cheek contributed to a goal every 102 minutes. 102 minutes is a ratio that any top tier centre forward would be incredibly proud of, let alone a central midfielder. And in the Premier League, he's contributing to a goal every 123 minutes, right? Which is also excellent, and to be honest, proves that the Europa League statistic isn't a fluke, or it isn't because it's against lower level opposition. He's doing it at the highest level in the Premier League. A superb average, so amazing for a central midfielder, really. Okay, let's have a quick look at Ruben's passing accuracy. In the Europa League, Ruben Loftus-Cheek averaged 91% pass accuracy. Whoa. And in the Premier League, he averaged an 88% pass accuracy. Okay, so both these numbers are near immaculate, right? And for a player that you sort of see as a bit of a risk taker in the sense of he will take responsibility in the game. He'll pick up the ball and he'll dribble at opposition and you might pop shots off. But to have such an amazing pass success average, don't know why that's hard for me to say, you know, that's really impressive for the type of player he is. He's not like just a sort of metronomic water carrier. You know, he's not a Jorginho that's supposed to just pass the ball. He'll pick up the ball and do stuff with it. So for 91% pass accuracy and 88, that's superbly impressive. Like, don't know what else to say about it. It's just really good. Alright, so let's look at some other offensive stats. Key passes. In the Europa League, Ruben executed 1.2 key passes per game, which is pretty decent, or certainly good enough, I guess, for a central midfielder. And in the Premier League, he only did 0.7 key passes. Probably something that he'd look to develop, but to be honest, like I said in the previous statistic, because he's sort of a player that picks up the ball and tries to do it himself, he's not often looking to make that key pass. He'll do sort of excellent interchanges, but he himself would like to get on the end of chances and score, or he just wants to sort of drive into the final third and see what happens from there. He's not really like your sort of Modric or Fabregas midfielder, is he? So again, something that he'd probably look to improve, but it's probably not so prominent in a player like Ruben stylistically. Alright, shots per game. In the Europa League last season, Ruben Loftus-Cheek took 1.6 shots per game, which again is very, very good for a midfielder. In the Premier League, he took 1.2. Both decent enough numbers. When Ruben Loftus-Cheek is in the mood, he will bang a goal or take a shot on goal, but he doesn't take a shot for the sake of it. If there's, you know, a more intelligent move to do, whether pass the ball or recycle possession, he'll do that. You know, he'll pick up the ball, drive forward into the final third. He won't just take a shot for the sake of it. He will recycle possession and do the intelligent thing. Perhaps that's a better thing, that he's not taking loads of random shots per game. He wants to make use of the ball. And if he's not taking a shot or trying to recycle possession, he's probably trying to take on. Which leads us nicely to dribbles. In the Europa League last season, Ruben Loftus-Cheek did 3.6 dribbles on average. And in the Premier League, he did 1.7, you know, which is very good in itself. So yeah, like I said, best part of 2 dribbles per game in the Premier League at the top level is very good for a midfielder. But to do 3.6 in Europe last season, right now that really is Eden Hazard numbers, just picking up the ball and constantly successfully taking on opposition. He's so big in terms of driving through, but he's got those twinkle toes where he can just get between everyone. So astronomical dribbling numbers from the young English midfielder there. Alright, that's enough for the numbers for the moment. Just another point on Ruben's dribbling. You need so much talent to successfully execute that many dribbles, right, in the top tier football match, and the confidence to take it on, but that's such a valuable asset in today's modern football. Sure, everything's like systemic and one touch and the systems try and win games, but you need these talented mercurial players like Ruben Loftus-Cheek that can play the system very well, but also, like I said before, take responsibility, have the feet to go through people, have the strength, like Chelsea had with Eden Hazard. Ruben Loftus-Cheek has that too, but not only that, he's a big boy and he actually not only can frighten opposition with his quick feet, but just generally frighten opposition because of his size. That's right, Ruben is a beast for both Chelsea and England, but like I said before, he is a technical sort of dribbler, and I did make a little comparison to Eden Hazard before, and I want to pick up on that a little bit. For Chelsea Football Club, Eden Hazard was the talisman, but he also was like the entertainer, the player that would pick up the ball and literally get everyone out of their seats. Now, I've said it before, maybe in videos or other things that I do, but I think Ruben Loftus-Cheek can be that player for Chelsea. He can pick up the ball and change the dynamic of the game and get everyone on their feet, dribble through people and curl it into the top corner. He's capable of doing that. We've seen him do it. As long as he has the confidence to carry on doing it and try it, he will do it. Of course, it's a really bold move to compare him to Eden Hazard, but the fact is, we've seen him dribble through a crowd of players, we've seen him do the sort of delicate, silky 1-2s, and we've seen him bang it in the top corner. There was that game, I think maybe in the Europa League, where Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Hazard both scored the same goal, curling it into the top corner, and Ruben's was better than Hazard's, and they joked about it, but we've seen him do these amazing moments. He's a young lad, still kinda. If he develops his confidence and develops his game and stays off the sort of medical table, then there's no ceiling for Ruben Loftus-Cheek. He can be an absolute superstar. And for Chelsea Football Club, that would be incredibly special if he reaches his potential. He's a Chelsea Academy product, he's a young English lad that's been at the club since he was like a little kid. And think about it, if he does develop and flourish and become the player that, become a superstar essentially, then maybe Chelsea could be looking at Hudson-Odoi, Loftus-Cheek, and who knows, maybe even Tammy Abraham being the poster boys of Chelsea FC, playing at the highest level, but all three of them having been at the club since they were very young, and they're all young English Academy players. That would be exciting and a different turn for Chelsea. Alright guys, I'm going to wrap up this video. I mean, I have shown you some stats about Ruben and how he performed and stuff, but it probably has mainly been a video of me waxing lyrical about the player. But he is superb, he's so important to the club, and he will be very important to England, in my opinion. Guys, I really hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have been enjoying the content, please like the video. Do me a favour, comment down below, let me know your opinion on the players or any other young players. I'm always down there chatting and looking at your thoughts on stuff, and I find it really interesting. Tell your friends about my channel if you think they might enjoy it, because I'm really trying my hardest to develop the platform, Subscribe if you're new. That's it guys, I'm gonna roll. Enjoy the football. I'll see you later.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me baby.